What is going on, guys? Today we have got actually a little bit of content for a Thursday. So we've got the double 81 plus upgrades. Honestly, a little bit annoyed that these came out rather than the 80 plus not just being the whole week. We've got 4 days of these and they're gonna be so expensive. Gold, rare, and 11. That is just incredible. Wow. I'm going to do one now. I'm interested because we are very, very low on fodder at the moment. Purely for the fact that we did 50 of the 80 plus, times 2 obviously. And these are going to be very, very difficult to actually grind because 11 rare, we haven't seen that, which leads me to believe these will be quite cracked. I don't know whether they will be, and the big thing with this right now is personally I would save these mainly because we have actually, I don't believe, got anything in packs other than the best of 11 best team of the week, sorry. We've obviously got Neymar, we should have Mbappe, but there is no Path to Glories and no heroes in until tomorrow where we get the World Cup icons and I believe something else. So again, very interesting to see. Our first one is going to be a board. You'd like to think so. Matip. This is where you've got to beg the question. These are going to be very, very expensive to build. And really, you're expecting something back. I would say you'd need at least an 86 or higher to get anything back from these. So I would tread very carefully. But the reason of the video is obviously to try and get these done for the cheapest amount of coins or just multiple methods that you can basically get these done repeatable now. I personally, if I was looking at anything, do all of these SBCs first. We obviously have the marquee matchups, which is obviously for Thursday, sorry, as well as any team of the week packs, and obviously any of the pre-Black Friday Flash Challenge 1. We're going to get loads of them, so be very careful with how much you put into these, because remember, with Black Friday, I believe, comes the hourly SBCs that will be very expensive if you basically just absolutely bin everything into these SBCs right now. And I would always kind of double check that you're obviously doing the right thing with opening them either today or tomorrow. I would always say tomorrow, as there is chance of more promo cards rather than the best team of the week. Realistically, we're looking for a Neymar. We're looking for maybe an Mbappe, which I'm very shocked he's not on the cover. I would have probably put him over Kevin and obviously Salah, but I don't know if it's because we've already got a PSG player. But I would say him, and I think there probably is one more. Informed Son would be a good one if he's in there. So again, it depends on how many they've done. But I would want 100% wait for tomorrow with these. So that being said, disclaimer, all of that jazz. What's the best way to do these? So there's a couple of ways. Obviously, with all of the SBCs we've been getting, there is going to be different amounts of ways that you can get this done. I'm interested to see minimum silver. Okay, so that's not a bronze requirement, unfortunately. We do have Morientes as well, who looks relatively nice, but I think lengthy would have been better for him kind of later on. So the first thing you want to do as we start everything, this would be the biggest grind to go with. We have got 4 days, so obviously with all the Black Friday stuff, this could be made easier and worse depending on how many gold packs we get and what you're able to do for relatively cheap, because we've seen Black Fridays where the SBCs have just not been worth it for the hour, the 2 hour, or obviously they have been very worth it and you get them done quite easily. But the first things first, if you've got very, very minimum coins, bronze pack method will always be your best bet. It's just bound to be. So this is the way to go to start with. No matter whatever kind of state your club is in, I would do this. This is going to be your bread and butter to basically get this done. Obviously, we had an SBC yesterday that required bronzes, or at least bronzes were a byproduct of it because it was a minimum 65 rating. And as you can see, they're probably still up a little bit from it because I believe the daily SBC should still be there. I think it was the FGS Challenge 7, I want to say. So that is going to make the bronze packs that little bit more. As we don't have the league SBCs, unfortunately, we are dealing with daily kind of SBCs and random packs, maybe icons with the bronze 11 rare to basically hold the price. I would suggest that if anyone, especially rares, are only say 300, I would personally keep them because they will go up. I was selling bronze rares at 750 to 800 when an icon came out, at least 2 of them. And yesterday was selling a lot of them, especially left and right mids, for at least like a K a time. So I would definitely be looking at the left mid, left wing, right mid, right wing Rares, obviously, in major nations and also centre-back, centre-mid are going to be good positions, as well as goalies and strikers. They're not necessarily up that much, but they can be worth something. And the same with commons. Even if you've got the 200 coins, sell them. Don't hold on to them, because that is what's going to give you your profit with this. This is a massive grind that isn't a quick fold. You don't necessarily always make 100% profit every single pack, but it's the time that you get a 2k player, a 5k kit, even a 400 coin player. Every time you put in 750 in, for instance, with this guy, I'm not going to sell him right now. 300 coins right now is good, but if you get a 700, you know this pack is paid for later on down the line, and it's bound to happen. But that means you need to capitalize when an icon is out, because I'm terrible for it as well. I will hold all of these rares, and the first thing I do when an icon comes out, I go and open up more bronze packs. So even though, yes, I'm making coins right there, I am sitting on a load of coins just chilling because I said I'd wait for them. But then I can never be bothered to go through the club and sell 200, 300, 400 rares. So definitely make sure you get rid of them when you can actually do it. Again, you could have sold him for 200. They're 25 minutes, 30 minutes. You can get rid of him if you are strapped for coins, but do with what you want. If you get into 100 pretty quickly, then obviously leave them out there. That's absolutely fine. And the reason why this is going to be a really long grind is normally it's required 1 rare, no rares, just golds or something like that. This requires 11 gold rares. So this is a little bit of a tricky situation to be in with these, because this will take a long time to keep the grind going, and sometimes personally is worth it and isn't worth it. It depends on how much you actually have in your club. First thing I would do is just emptying the non-necessities in your club. If you've got a transfer list full of rares, then at least whack them on. If you want to sell them for profit, that's fine, but if you are looking for more packs, then definitely get that done as well. So for instance, we've actually got rid of quite a lot of 200s, as you can see, just to show you a bit of the market as well. Personally, we do tend to get rid of quite a lot, meaning that the bronze pack method is still very viable, even right now with just the SBC yesterday. Once you've kind of gone through that, I would just stick in whatever coins you've got, really. You know you'll make it back either now or in a week when a new icon comes out. You will make them coins back if you are very diligent with what you're actually selling. For instance, we've got a lot of bronze rares still in the club, and we haven't actually sold them all. If you think about it, for instance, if we say all of these are tradable, there may be a handful that's not. We've got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... and we go, only 7 pages actually, so we've actually done quite well. So for instance, if we've got 6 pages, we know that each page is 60, if I can find the calculator. If we've got 60 players, so we've got 65 players, because we know that's half. We sell them for 700 each, which more than likely we probably would sell more depending on positions. That's 45,000 coins we have got back, which realistically, if we divide that by 750, which is a pack, we've got 60 packs we can open up from a pack that we could potentially get 3 rares a time. That is just the maths behind it, just quickly. I know sometimes it can be a little bit boring, but that is the benefits of doing something like this, and it does pay dividends if you're actually kind of looking at what you're actually selling. Again, League SBCs would be absolutely perfect for this grind, and to be honest, with how well the bronze pack method's doing now still, even just with them daily SBCs, I am starting to think that they're not going to come. I personally thought that they would do in the World Cup with the different continents. Maybe we have even the groups. We have a group A, B, C, D, E, F, and we have, like, say, you've got to put English, Qatar, Iranian, whatever players in one kind of zone, and you have 4 different sections, or even just do the continents like they did last year with obviously Europe, Africa, yada, yada, and doing it that way. Again, it is a bit of a difference. I have heard kind of through different videos that they were talking about getting rid of them altogether. I'm not a big fan, as I do like the menu content when there's nothing to play. You've done your rivals, done your champs, done your objectives, done all of that. There is literally nothing else to do. I am not going to play in rivals for fun, friendlies for fun. I'm hopping on to another game. So I believe League SBCs are detrimental for their game time, but it's whether they try and outweigh it with too much to play, which for me, if you're going to have too much game time to play, I would probably just stick to the objectives or the players that I actually want to get and leave it at that. Again, it depends on how you play this game. But for instance, we got 2 Denmark players here. We can whack them obviously into the silver upgrade as normal. We just then go through the motions, and you've just basically got to keep doing that. The bronze packs into silvers, into the silver upgrades, and it is a long grind. Like I said, if you've got coins, potentially it might be worth splashing a couple in, depending on how many coins you've got. If you're sitting in the millions, maybe you want to buy a few. It does take a little bit of time still to buy them, but most definitely a little bit quicker than doing this way. Again, with no League SBCs, I would probably just keep major nations, major leagues, and that's probably about it at this point, unless obviously you have got some objectives you need to do. I personally like the major leagues just because either A, they are good for price if something does come about, or obviously they are good for the silver stars or anything like that if you wanted a chemistry style silver team. But then once we've done this, obviously to the free common, this is kind of where we normally stopped, and now we've got to continue with it. So unfortunately, with obviously this, we have to then put the golds into the gold upgrades, meaning we need to get a solid, 5 packs, I think it is, if we've got times 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 6 packs in fact, because obviously you've got to get the 12, and then you have one spare over. So for instance, with that, we take all of them common upgrades, and we go into the gold upgrade. Unfortunately, this is going to be the grind and a half, but the best thing about this is you do get the chance of getting something in these as well. Obviously, you only want to put your commons into this one. You don't put anything else because realistically, there is no other point. You want to get all your commons gone and just absolutely slap them into this. And there is a chance that you get something in the gold upgrade as well. That isn't like a no chance of anything. I've definitely pulled a fair few gold cards in my time that are worth something in terms of a fodder value, and even main team, to be honest. You can definitely still get some informs or anything like that. It's just not a guaranteed rating. We do actually get a board in this. Imagine if it was Matip. It's going to be David Silva, 83 now. A few years ago, that would have been absolutely beautiful. And we do get Tushimeni, who, again, not terrible indeed. And this is why I always say, when you are doing these gold upgrades and doing the motion through it, make sure that you are sending all of your gold upgrades first, and basically just keep going with them, and don't do one of these 81 pluses first, because if you do, you could end up in the position where you get one duplicate and you don't have any gold rares to kind of put in. Obviously, luckily we do have them, so I'm just going to put one more in. I'm probably not going to do 50 of these just yet, and more than likely we'll build a few for tomorrow. Obviously, for the start of the promo, we'll see how that goes, and we do need to make sure that we put in Tushimeni wherever he is. There he is, and then that's it. But that is the motion of it. If you've obviously got coins, the different ways to just go buy your gold rares, we'll have a look now and see what's actually kind of pricing for them, because I can imagine they will go quite expensive. The 81 double is always normally a wanted one, because realistically we never really get an 82 plus double, as I think that kind of goes around the line a little bit. We do get a back-to-back board. Is it going to be summer? No, of course it's not. So we get an 83 again. So I would be very wary with these, to be honest. I think you will get some lucky ones where you'd maybe get double walkout, you get double inform, but there is going to be a predominant kind of lot of them that are going to be 81, 82s at least as the second player. So always make sure that you have got either enough coins or you even want to do it. In terms of gold rares, what are they coming in at? We've got one. Okay, we're still down at the minute. At the minute, I can imagine they're probably not going to be sent fully. We're still at 750. I'm surprised these have not gone up a little bit more. Obviously, there is going to be very little people fully sending it just yet, because we obviously don't have anything in promo. So at the minute, it's probably the best time to make them. If you could pick up these cards for 700, then really you can't get them any cheaper. I think 650. Yeah, they'd be instant gone, all of them, I can imagine. You would just be having to snipe bot them or something in terms of the 650, but 700 is not bad. In terms of how much that's going to cost per one, if you manage to get 11 different ones, 7.7k at the minute. If, say, they rose to, say, 900, I think that's a good rise price for tonight. 9.9, so 10k a time. That's going to be pretty expensive. If we move over to Footbin, I'm interested to know what the cheapest player by kind of rating is. So 10k, say 10k is the minimum we want. that is looking at an 86 rated player. They're coming in at 12k at the moment. 85 is 6.5, so a big jump down right now. Personally, 86 is always going to be the one. You can obviously get either two 85s, an 85 and an 84, and you do make the same profit back in terms of tradable value, but obviously they are untradeable. So if you do get, for instance, an 83, 82, or 81, they're all coming in at 700 and below, 800 and below. It's unfortunately going to be a tenth of the price and is going to be the risk that you're willing to take with these upgrades. But that's the best way to do it. Bronze into gold, into silver, into gold, into then the gold upgrade for the 11 rares. Obviously, you have one over. Plus, then if you do get any 81s or 82s in the 81 upgrade, you then can recycle them back through. And that is going to be the grind. Unfortunately, we don't know too much until tomorrow with what packs we're going to be getting and also what sort of flash SBCs we're getting. But that's why I always say maybe kind of deal with some of the ones you want to get rid of. Maybe keep a couple of, say, 11, maybe 40, 50 cards of good nations and good different leagues, because obviously there will be plenty of flash SBCs for plenty of gold cards that you can then re-rinse into these 81s. So let me know down below if you are going to be completing these. That is going to be the how-to grind, these 81 doubles. Let me know what you think about it. Make sure you do like and subscribe on this, and I'll catch you all for the next one. Peace. Check out the videos on the left.